I'm going to be going over a couple of the exercises from Algebra Lesson 9.5. I want to do problem 1C. So for solving this using logarithms, there is, just like with a regular linear equation, we're going to divide first to get rid of this number in front. So I'm going to divide by 80, and that's going to go away, and then I'm going to divide by 80. And on my calculator then, I'm going to take 143 divided by 143.67 divided by 80, and that gives me 1.8. I'm going to round that. So I'm going to drop down this 1.05, 1.05x, and then on this side I have 1.8. Now, when I have an x as an exponent, I cannot just divide to get rid of that number in front. So we're going to use something called a logarithm to get rid of the exponent x. So instead of doing an exponent x, if I put a log in front, log, and I got to do the same thing on both sides of the equation, so I'm going to try to squeeze an log in the front right here, log, a log in front and a log in front. It keeps things balanced. That's why we divide by 80 on both sides. We put a log on both sides. Now that's not an exponent x, it's a normal variable x. And log of 1.05 is a number, so just like if I have 4x equals 12, I can divide by a number in front of an x to cross it off. That's why we divided by 80 to cross it off. So I can divide this by log 1.05, and that will allow me to cross it off. Bam. And this x is going to drop down. And then on this side, we're also going to divide by log 1.05. We do both operations on both sides of the equation to keep it balanced. So I'd have log of 1.8 divided by log of 1.05. Now you definitely need to have a calculator with a log button in order to be able to do this. This graphing calculator has it obviously right here, log. So I did log of 1.8 divided by log of 1.05. If you are using a different calculator, that log button I know on like the scientific calculators is a little higher on this side, but still on that left side. If you're using like a cell phone calculator, there's no guarantee that it's going to have a log button. This is my default computer calculator with Windows, and that definitely has a log button. But I know this calculator actually does it backwards. So you have to actually type, I think you have to type 1.8, and then you would push the log. And then you would go divided by, and you see how it put that log 1.8 in parentheses, but I had to push the buttons in backwards. Then I would go divided by 1.05, and then I would push the log button, and then I would hit equals, and I got that same answer of 12. I know like Google, let's see if I can find it, has like, if you just Google calculator, there's also a log button right here. And I'm not sure if this is a backwards version or a normal version. This is a backwards version too. So you would have to type in the number first, 1.8, and then you would hit log. Oh, I'm wrong. Start over. You would hit you'd hit log, and then you would type 1.8. And then we would close it, divided by log 1.05. And then we can close it, and when we hit enter, we get that same answer. So if you don't have one of these expensive $100 calculators, any calculator on your phone, if it has a log button, or a computer if it has a log button, or if you Google calculator, that one has a log. If for whatever reason you can't get a log button, you're just using like a basic 4-function calculator, I'm going to show you 2 other ways that we could solve this without a log button. We can think back to how we were doing this originally with the starting number and then the changing number. So we started with something, and then we changed by something, and we kept remultiplying and remultiplying and remultiplying until we got the answer. So with any basic 4-function calculator, I can start with 80. I know that's my starting number. and then I can multiply that by 1.05. And this would be the first answer. And I can re-multiply it by 1.05, and this would be the second answer, and the third answer, and the fourth answer. And we count how many times we repeat this multiplication until we reach this answer. So I believe I was an answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And if you notice, it's rounded, right? But 143.66 with an 8 behind it, it's the same number. So it took me 12 repeated multiplications to get to that value. So even if you don't have a log, if you only have a 4-function calculator, just times, that's all you would need to be able to do this. I started with my starting number, I multiplied it by that ratio, and I had to do it 12 times to reach this value. If that still doesn't really work out for you, let me know and we can try to talk about the guess and check method. But that would basically be, we're just going to try different numbers for the exponent until we get the answer we're looking for. I already know the answer is 12, but I mean, I could be trying, let's say I just tried 10 and that seemed too low. Maybe I would try 15 and that seemed too high. So I'm just trying different values until I get the answer I'm looking for. Okay, these then are kind of just repeating some of the things we've done previously in the packet. If it says 10 minutes, make sure that 10 is going up for your power. And this one says equals 5, so the difference here would be using a log or solving it. So this one I'm going to write it out. It's 23. Okay, I'm not going to write it out. It's nice for writing and showing work, but it's hard to write neat. So let's just type this one, 23 times 0.94, and that would be to the power of 10. That you can just straight type into a calculator, and that would be your answer. So that's when we have the x number. That's what we've been doing previously in the packet. But this is 5 degrees. So that's actually, we would have the same equation, 23 times 0.94 to the power of our variable equals 5. So this is one where I would prefer to write it because I'd be dropping the line and I'd be dividing to get rid of the 23, and then I'd be doing a log division to get rid of the 0.94. And if you don't have that ability, but you don't have a log, or you can't figure out how to do the logs, remember we have the starting number times 0.94. How many times do we remultiply that number until we reach 5, right? Good luck, and let me know if you have more questions. Thank you.